Hey, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our Ephphatha Bible study for Wednesday, what is today? The 18th of November. Coming to you live from Myrtle Beach State Park here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're on vacation, but I didn't want to leave you guys without a Bible study. And I do apologize for starting a bit late. Today's checkout day, so we were hooking up and getting everything ready. So I'm over here at the beach access. Doing Bible study with you guys. Don't have a mug with me. I've just got my trusty Contigo of tea. This Contigo has been all over the continent. It's been to Alaska a couple of times. It's been to out west several times. So it's been everywhere. So let me make sure I can, let's see my comments, or I think I can see my comments. So looks like we're okay. And got some watchers and a thumbs up. So welcome to you guys. Now, just to give you a heads up, next Wednesday is the day before Thanksgiving. So we will have a Bible study. I'll probably record that here in the next day or so, and then it will go live on Wednesday, next Wednesday at noon, so we can continue on in our Bible study. Hope you guys are doing well. We're having a wonderful time on vacation. It's been good. We've got our, let's see if I can see. Yeah, there's a Jeep and our travel trailer, and you can see that. Well, you can see that it's kind of deserted out here, which is nice. Makes it easy to social distance. It's a little chilly today, chilly and the wind's blowing, so that's helped keep the crowds down. But it's been a great time so far. We're going to continue having a good time. Well, when last we met, we were looking at the Israelites beginning to leave Egypt. They were heading out. We're going to begin in Exodus chapter 13. And this, again, is a bit of you'll notice some backtracking and some parallelism. Do remember that these are multiple accounts. The priestly account that the temple had, the royal account that the palace kept. So these are all these different accounts of the history of Israel that have been combined to make sure nothing was lost. And I see Bob from Gray. Hey, Bob. Hope you're doing well. Looking good. Thank you. All right. So let's go ahead and do Exodus chapter 13. The Lord said to Moses, "Consecrate to me every firstborn male. The first offspring of every womb among the Israelites belongs to me, whether man or animal." Then Moses said to the people, "Commemorate this day, the day you came out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery, because the Lord brought you out of it with a mighty hand. Eat nothing containing yeast. Today, in the month of Abib, you are leaving, when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Hivites, and Jebusites, the land he swore to your forefathers to give you, the land flowing with milk and honey. You are to observe this ceremony in this month. For 7 days, eat bread made without yeast, and on the seventh day, hold a festival to the Lord. Eat unleavened bread during those 7 days. Nothing with yeast in it is to be seen among you, nor shall any yeast be anywhere within your borders. On that day, tell your son, I do this because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt." Now, let me just stop there. There's several things I want to talk about. Notice the last thing that the Lord said to Moses and told the people. When in future generations, they are observing the Passover, the festival of unleavened bread, they are to say to their children, "The Lord brought me out of Egypt." This isn't just for this generation that's literally being brought out. In a very real sense, the Lord is always bringing his people out of bondage, out of slavery, and the Lord is always bringing them out with his strong right arm, that we can't get ourselves out of these situations. We need a deliverer. We need a savior. We need a Messiah. So this is a remembrance for the Israelites specifically. Don't blow over, camera. But it's also for us, and it's an ongoing. It's not just dead history. That's why we still study this, because it is still ongoing. We may not be in literal captivity in Egypt, but our spirits and our lives are captive to many things. And let's be honest, some of those things are because they're of our own doing. We make bad choices. We get ourselves in bad situations. We have all sorts of problems. So we are always in need of saving, and we have to be honest about that, and be honest about the fact that we don't have enough strength to do that on our own. So the promised land, and you heard the list of the peoples that are already in the land. This is not a deserted place. This is actually a very good place, a land flowing with milk and honey. But God is going to make space for the Israelites, for the people of God, and they'll be driving out all those other peoples, and we'll be talking about that when we get to it. But God is making a space. This isn't just an extra corner of the world that's not being used by anybody. This is good land that God is giving to His people. Land flowing with milk and honey. Milk and honey, symbolic of good things, symbolic of a rich land, a land that can support hives of bees, a land where the crops aren't being burned and trampled by war, that the flowers have time to bloom, and the bees have time to make honey, and the flocks aren't being slaughtered for because of starvation or drought, or again because of war. So that there is milk, probably goat milk, but that's okay. Sheep milk, that's fine too. Makes great cheese. But this is a peaceful and plentiful land that God is giving to the people of God. God always has good things in store. God always plans for us to have peace, prosperity, have plenty. Jesus said that I've come that you might have life and have it abundantly. Our God is not a God of scarcity, but a God of abundance, a God who gives us richly. So we need to be thankful for that. And the Israelites, I'm sure, didn't see how this was going to transpire. They didn't understand fully what was going to happen. They just knew that they had the promise of a place, a land, a place where they can be. This is always, from Abraham on, this has always been a combined promise. The covenant, the old covenant was a covenant of land between people and land and God, that God was going to make them a people and give them a land, give them a place to be. And I think the idea of a place to be, a land to belong to, and a people to belong to might be something that we resonate with now in these times where we're being told to be distant and things coming up, and a lot of folks won't be able to gather with their families like they would like to. So we need to be reminded that we still have a place and have a people. We may not see them as much as we would like, but we are still part of that people. And for a disconnected society, a disconnected culture like ours, I think the idea of a people and a place to be is a good one. It is something that would resonate with people. We need to be sharing that good news that folks who feel alone can have a place to be where they're treasured and valued. So the Israelites are leaving Egypt. God is telling Moses to tell the people that all the firstborn are consecrated to him, and that they're going to a good place, and they need to remember this. They need to remember what God has done. And of course, the bit about the unleavened bread is to remember how they left in haste when God got them out. Let's see. Verse 9, 13:9. This observance will be for you like a sign on your hand and a reminder on your forehead that the law of the Lord is to be on your lips. For the Lord brought you out of Egypt with his mighty hand. You must keep this ordinance on the appointed time, year after year. Okay, and in this, I see a little bit of a foreshadowing. That, remember, we have these verbal accounts that are kept by the temple, by the palace, and they're written down much later on. So this mention of the law of God, the law of Moses, well, not law of Moses, but law given by God to Moses, hasn't been mentioned yet. So the people have just thus far just have said we're going out to worship. We've got to remember this day and do this annually. But the idea of the law of God hasn't been really developed yet. So we're seeing sort of a backwards echo from later developments echoing into the text as we get it. It doesn't really change the meaning at all. It's just interesting to me that we can kind of tease out how the scriptures have been so carefully guarded and tended and treasured, and then recorded so that we can have them later on. Okay. Must keep this ordinance and the appointed time year after year. After the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites and gives it to you, as he promised on oath to you and your forefathers, you're to give over to the Lord the first offspring of every womb, and the firstborn males of all your livestock belong to the Lord. Redeem with a lamb every firstborn donkey. If you do not redeem it, break its neck. Redeem every firstborn among your sons. So this is, again, a reminder of what God has done, that God has brought them out of Egypt, and the firstborn belong to God. The people can redeem the donkeys. The donkeys are critical for the agriculture, for the work, so they can be bought back with a lamb. But if someone doesn't care enough to do that, then the animal's neck must be broken. God is serious about God's promises. God is serious about what God wants us to do. This isn't just a meaningless ritual, a meaningless ceremony. This is, in a very real sense, a reenactment, a sign act, so that we will know that God means what he says. One of the things about our state park here is that we are underneath the flight path for the Myrtle Beach International Airport, and here comes a jet. So we may pause for just a minute while he gets on over. I don't know. Can you see him? Yeah, there he goes. Yep. We got buzzed by a C-117 Globemaster cargo plane, U.S. Air Force cargo plane yesterday. It was kind of, all right. That wasn't too bad. Okay. So God is serious about God's promises. Okay, and you can hear that repetition. Chapter 13 began with this idea of the consecrating the firstborn. Then we're hearing it again. So this is a different collection of these writings. 14. In the days to come, when your son asks you, "What did this mean?" say to him, "With a mighty hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. When Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, the Lord killed every firstborn in Egypt, both man and animal. This is why I sacrifice to the Lord the first male offspring of every womb, and redeem each of my firstborn sons. It will be like a sign on your hand and a symbol on your forehead, that the Lord brought us out of Egypt with his mighty hand." So again, just slightly different wording, but still the same ideas and the same immediacy to both accounts, that God brought us out of Egypt, that this is always going to be a living memory of what God has done for us, not just this ancient dead history. Well, I think we're going to stop here at the moment because my Bible keeps trying to blow away, and we will pick up 13 next week. But I hope you guys are having a good day. It's a little bit short, and I apologize, but I love it out here, but it's a little hard to do Bible study. So I hope you guys do well. I see Neil and Sharon has popped in. Hey, Neil and Sharon. Good to see you guys too. I think that's all the comments we've got. Well, I hope you guys stay safe and have a good week. We're out of the pulpit again this week. I appreciate Don for bringing the message. It looked good. I checked in on the stream Sunday a little bit. So I hope you guys stay safe, and we will see you. We'll see you around. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.